Hi Avi, hi Yuvi, how's it guys?
Awesome, bro. How you?
I'm great. Okay, all right, Yuvi, I'll start with you since I didn't see you last week. You can give me a quick thoughts on SA's winning against India the first test and just your quick thoughts on how the pitch was. 'Cause I know there was a lot of discussion on that.
Look, there were a lot of factors
Hmm.
to include, but end of the day,
Hmm.
SA adapted to conditions. They played well. They won. Well done.
Right. Avi, so what's your thoughts so far on the second test, considering it's quite a flat pitch, eh, if you're comparing it to the first test?
Yeah, no, definitely. But I think it's been 2 brilliant days for the Proteas. I mean, 489, they would have taken that at the start of the game. So,
Hmm.
Excuse me.
brilliant day for the Proteas. I mean, yesterday was a bit frustrating because a lot of players got starts, but they didn't convert. But today we saw two players really go big. I mean, Seni, I mean, he's been brilliant in the subcontinent. He did well in Pakistan, and what a century
Mm.
in the second test. He was absolutely brilliant. And ably supported by Marco Janssen. I mean, spare a thought for Marco. I mean, he was so close to getting that century, and then he played a bit of a rash stroke. I mean, he was
Mm.
nailing that spin today. I mean, hitting it out of the ground. He was nailing Kuldeep, he was nailing Jadeja, and he just played at one, and it went back on the stump, so he played on. But a brilliant knock from Marco as well. He gave Seni some great support there to get to a century, and yeah, 489. SA will take it, eh? But I think this pitch is hard work, guys. I'll be honest with you. You
Mm.
just can't blow a team
I
out
agree.
here.
Mm.
So I think SA are going to be very disciplined with the ball, but I think they're in control at the moment.
Yuvi?
I don't think they've got enough. One thing I will disagree with Avish on, I don't think this pitch is
Okay.
hard work. I think it's flat. And I think India can
Okay.
score over 600.
Wow. Wow. I do kind of
I,
agree with that, but
I
they'll
can
have to.
fully
Sorry?
see. I can fully see South Africa having to bat on the last day.
You see, Yuvi, I get
Yeah,
what
because it
you're
does
saying,
seem
right?
like
But
a
my
typical
my thing
Indian.
is
Uh-huh.
SA have already taken 2 days out of this game. And
Mm.
if India are to make 600,
Mm.
it's probably going to take them 2 days to make that total. And
Look
by
at
that
who's opening
time,
the bat.
they're going to
Look
they're
at
going to
who's
be
opening
running
the
out of
bat.
time. So
Yeah.
I
But
think
my
I think
point
the
is,
best case scenario for this game at the moment, I can only see two kind of results here. To be honest with you, I can see a draw, which is a most
Mm-hmm.
likely result, an SA win the
Mm-hmm.
series, or I can see
Mm-hmm.
an SA win, which is going to be tough as well. I think the draw is more of a likely result, and SA win the series. I think India kind of put
I don't know.
themselves in a corner here, guys. I'll be honest with you. Uh,
I disagree
I know
with
we spoke about it last game. That was the game they should have
that.
won. But
Mm. Mm.
brilliant bowling from the Proteas, and that pitch was a lot to be desired, guys.
No.
Uh,
There's a reason. There's a reason I disagree with that. I
Uh-huh.
think
Mm-hmm.
Jeswal, if he gets going,
Mm-hmm.
could take that, what's it, 400 and something total out of the
Yeah,
equation tomorrow
489.
itself.
Yeah.
Could
Yeah.
take it out of the equation tomorrow itself if he gets going.
Yeah. I
And
have a theory.
that's
Uh-huh.
when the pressure goes
Uh-huh.
back on this.
Okay. I have a theory, guys. The only way India can make a first out of this game tomorrow if they go at 4 to 5 runs and over. Ideally 5 runs, so that makes it 450 runs. And then
Mhm.
if they keep at that rate by the fourth day, ideally if they can get to a lead, that'll take them at least for 100 runs, they get to 589. And then if the pitch gets a bit crumbly, that's where it becomes a bit of maja. Hey, Yuvi?
Mm. That's what I'm
That's
thinking.
fine.
And
Hmm.
I fully look at those two openers for India.
Hmm.
I think they can
Hmm.
knock these runs off. I think they can knock these runs off quickly. I do.
Yeah. Because it's flat and they should be good against the spin
It
when
is
it's a
flat.
flat pitch. Yeah.
Mm.
But
And it
yeah,
will
but I can
crumble
understand.
by day 5. It will crumble by day 5. There's no doubt.
Ideally by day 4 to start to crumble, because at day 5 it's not crumbling then, it's pointless because you can easily block out most of the day if it's only crumbling on day 5. Ideally it should start crumbling on day 4, more in the middle of day 4.
No, we'll see how
yeah,
it
but
goes. But I think there'll be a lot of.
mm,
Yeah.
you guys make some good points here. But I'd like to know what would be a good lead for India? Because I think if they're
Probably
going to put
100.
pressure on SA, they've got to get a proper substantial lead. Sorry,
Yeah.
what lead, sir?
I think 100 is more realistic. To get to 200 is gonna, as you say, take up too much time. 100 will seem more realistic.
100, 150 is good enough. I think 150
of
more
course.
likely. I don't think 100 is enough. I think 150 is.
I agree with that, but it's just time. That's why I think they might
So
just take the 100
you're
run.
looking at 650. That's going to take them a long time to make that kind of total. But let's see what
I think,
happens. I honestly think this pitch is not going to break up that much. I think
oh,
it's a good batting deck, and I think it's good signs for the Proteas if it doesn't break up, which means they just have to play it safe and they win this. They draw this game, they win the series. So let's see how it goes, guys. I think SAI is in the driver's seat at the moment, but will be interesting to see what India can come up because at the moment India have got to make all the playing. They've got to make
They
all
do.
the running because I mean they chasing the series and they chasing the game.
yeah.
So they've got to put in a big performance here, and because I mean Gautam Gambhir, I think the less said the better said, but he seems to be under pressure.
Yeah, Yovi, what's your
So,
thoughts on Gautam Gambhir?
you know,
Yeah.
the interesting thing about that press conference, they asked Ganguly, what are his thoughts about Gautam Gambhir? He says there's no chance of him being sacked anytime soon. There is no chance of him being sacked anytime soon. They're giving him his leeway. They're giving him his run. And let's face it, he's not that bad a coach. He will find his feet and he will get things together. And I think the same is said of Shubman. And just to highlight that has been the biggest blow for India in the series, not having Gill. I mean, let's face it, on paper, probably the number one test batsman in the world right now. And not having him has definitely impacted it. But then again, that's why I say South Africa deserved that win, because we can't take anything away from them. They adapted to conditions that are typically Indian, better than the Indians did. They deserve that. And if it does play out the way Avish said, and we do end up with a 1-0 series victory, they've earned it. Take nothing away from it. They've earned it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay. But then, Avish, should SA win the series 1-0 or 2-0, will India regret not preparing another ranked turner, considering they were desperate to win the second test match? Or do you think India's done the right thing by going this route, even if they lose the series 1-0?
Look, I'll be honest with you, sir. I think if you don't learn from history, you kind of keep on making the same mistakes. Because if you don't learn from history, things are not going to change. So I think India, to be honest with you, they were a bit naive in that first test, preparing that sort of wicket. You know, if they just prepared a normal wicket, it made for a more of an interesting game, a more evenly matched game, where these lottery pitches, I mean, have they learned anything? You know, that's what we spoke about last week. They set a trap for SA, but they kind of fell into that same trap. I mean, the New Zealand series was a wake-up call. But I think there were games prior to that as well. I mean, if you look at Indore 2023, Border Gavaskar, when Todd Murphy and Kunaman ran through the Indians. So, look, sir, there's been quite a few talking points on these lottery pitches from India. And it doesn't seem to be helping the game at all. You know, they're a good enough side to play on decent, balanced pitches. They don't need these lottery pitches. Because when you prepare lottery pitches, you get lottery results. Unfortunately, that's what happens. So it seems like they haven't learned from their mistake in the New Zealand series, and they prepared a pitch in Eden Gardens, which is what Gautam Gambhir surprisingly said that they wanted.
So I have a question. Let's face it, spin is India's strength, right? There's no doubt. There's no argument there. It is their strength.
Yeah.
What is the weakest link in India's bowling attack right
now? I'll probably say Siraj.
Exactly.
I know who you're going to say.
Exactly.
You're my favorite bowler.
He came back in the first innings of the first test. I'll give him credit. He came back, but you can't afford a bowler that consistently has to come back. I'm sorry. That first session matters. The ball is moving. If you can't switch on immediately, you should not be playing Test cricket. That's it.
Yeah, I agree. I think Bumrah was lacking that kind of support from the other bowlers. But Siraj, I mean, he's a rhythm bowler. He can go for plenty. But when he's on song, he's on song. He's one of the best
I
in
don't,
the world. But
I, I
it's
don't
a
doubt
bit
his
tricky with these
ability.
rhythm bowlers.
I
Yeah,
don't doubt his
but I
ability.
mean,
His
I
consistency is
honestly
the issue.
think, yeah, I honestly think UV. I don't think India are really good on these glossy pitches. I don't think they play spin very well, and we saw it. We saw them get
No,
exposed in that first test. I think
mm,
on balanced pitches, on flat pitches, I mean, this batting lineup, they can do a lot of damage. We know that.
they
We've
can.
seen that in England. They can do a lot of
Mhm.
damage. So my theory is, I mean, you're the home team. Why would you want to have lottery pitches? Just go back to
So,
balanced pitches. I mean, pitches that
mm,
you trust your bowlers that they can get 20 wickets on. Because these lottery pitches
can
not
I,
going to give you lottery results, unfortunately.
if we look at Indian cricket, Test cricket, over the
Mm-hmm.
last 20
Mm-hmm.
years, when were India at
Yeah.
their best? When were India at their best?
I would say under the captaincy of Kohli.
When they had three fast bowlers, and I mean fast bowlers, not medium fast, three fast bowlers that were able to move the ball. That's when they were at their best.
Mm.
Mohammad
I think
Shami,
they're kind of going through a transition
Umesh
now.
Yadav, Mohammad Shami, Umesh Yadav, and what was the third guy? Srisant.
Yeah.
That's when they were at their best. That's when they were at their best.
Yeah, Srisant, yeah. Good bowler, that one. Hmm.
I I think India under
Yeah.
Virat Kohli was brilliant for Indian Test cricket. I think he really took them to another level. You know,
Mhm.
being
But he
very
had good
upbeat away
resources.
from home, and they started
He
winning.
had really
They
good
started
resources.
winning Test series away from home, and they were kind of invincible at home
Mhm.
until New Zealand.
Mhm.
Hmm.
New Zealand changed everything.
True.
New Zealand kind of have taken away
Yeah,
that kind
but
of home advantage that India had. India look a lot
Mhm.
more beatable at home now, unfortunately,
Mhm.
after New Zealand. And let's not even talk about Bangladesh beating Bangladesh and West Indies, because Bangladesh and West Indies for the last 30 years they haven't shown any consistency in Test cricket. So you can't really take those
Do you
two
know?
teams seriously.
Do you know when
But
I think India's bowling attack started looking weak?
uh-huh.
When Kawal Kulkarni came in to replace Umesh Yadav.
Mm-hmm.
That's when they started to look weak. A medium pacer coming in for a fast ball. They started to look weak.
That's bad. That's bad.
there were some fast
Okay.
bowlers that
All
I
right. If
actually
you're
think
ready,
that
we
have
can go
kind of
into the
fallen away,
Ashes.
guys.
Oh, sorry. Uh-huh.
I mean, look at Natarajan. Where is T
Okay.
Natarajan? I mean, he was so brilliant in Australia in the
Mm,
BGT. I mean,
Hmm.
Shadul Thakur. I think there is still a place for Thakur in
Mm-hmm.
this team. There were
mm,
some brilliant bowlers in Australia. I mean, Umesh Yadav, I think he's
Hmm.
gone on with age.
mm.
Shami, I don't know if we'll see him play again for India. So
Hmm.
I think in a way you got to be a bit patient with this team. They are going through a transition, but I think they got to get back to playing
Yeah.
on good pitches at home, because the pitches at home have been real lotteries for quite a while now.
Hmm.
And as I said, if you play in lottery pitches, you tend to get lottery results. So there's no guarantee. It's kind of a 50-50 shootout there.
Well, I think my
True. True. True.
impatience would come with India's medium pace messiah, the chairman of selectors, Ajit Agarkar. And,
Mm-hmm.
the reason I call him the medium pace messiah is he consistently selects medium pacers instead of fast bowlers. And
Okay. Okay.
that's the issue. But the good thing is there's a lot of pressure on him right now. People have
Okay.
started to see what I've been saying for years. Ajit Agarkar makes highly questionable decisions.
Well, I guess we'll have to see how the rest of this test match goes, because obviously it is looking the way Avish is saying. But it'll be
Mhm.
interesting though, because then you must admit, if SA do win the series, I'm sure Gautam Gambhir might start be looking. There might be under more scrutiny. You have to admit that, eh, Yuvi?
I think there's definitely going to be a push towards it, but I don't think it happens immediately. Remember, I've been calling for Agarkar's head for what, 3 years now? And,
Wow, that's a long time.
well, 2 years anyway. And
Okay.
the point is that
Mhm.
India's slow when it comes to change. They're very slow when it
Hmm.
comes to change. And
Yeah.
That's why I don't see Gambhir going anytime soon. And personally, I think it's a good thing because I don't think he's a bad coach. I think he needs to find his feet and he needs to be given better resources. Honestly, the resources in the bowling attack right now are not good enough.
Okay. On that interesting note, we'll move to the Ashes. Okay, Yuvi, why don't you tell me your thoughts on Australia's dominant 8-wicket winning over England? 'Cause I didn't see that coming. I really thought England were going to make
Yeah,
a
I
push
was a
out of
bit
the first test, Yuvi.
disappointed. I am a bit disappointed. I thought England would take it. But by the same token, being an Indian fan, I'm glad it got stuck to them a little bit after the way they behaved when India toured. So I'm glad they got stuck a bit. And but in a way, I'm also disappointed because I was hoping that the fast bowlers would make an impact. They would kind of jumpstart those Australians into thinking we need a bit more pace in our attack. I was hoping for that.
Yeah, me too. Avi?
I mean, I spoke to you also yesterday, so I mean, this is an absolutely crazy test match, man. I mean, the first day, 19 wickets fell, right? England were in complete control. And then bowling out Australia on day 2 for 100, right? But, going to a position at 65 for 1, I think it was after the lunch break. I mean, you thought England are control, and then England go and do England things. And, I don't know. The English media call this bears ball, but I think it's a bit brainless in a way. Because, I mean, look, I'm all for playing aggressive cricket. I don't have a problem with playing aggressive cricket.
Yeah.
But you've gotta use your common sense sometimes, guys. Cricket is a game about, when you're in command, you gotta take the opposition. You gotta wear the opposition. And I think England had a brilliant chance of doing that. Unfortunately, they shot themselves in the foot, guys. I mean, playing that kind of reckless brand of cricket. This is what my concern about England going to Australia, because I mean, guys, I mean this bears ball can work in England on those school grounds, but remember Australia, the boundaries are much longer, guys. And if you're going to try and go on the hook or be a compulsive hooker, you're going to get caught more often than not, guys. And I think there was some really really poor shots from England in that second innings. I mean, guys, I mean this is you got to play horizontal back shots, man. If you look at the way Travis had played, I mean, he played so many pull shots on the back foot. No drives because it's so difficult to drive. And look at the England batsmen. I mean, so many of them got caught driving. If you look at Joe Root, played on. Harry Brook, caught driving in the slips. Ollie Pope, caught driving. Those are the shots that were not supposed to be played on this wicket. I mean, there was enough movement, there was enough bounce. I think England's reckless game plan. I mean, it really, it's so funny, guys. I mean, I was really looking forward to this Ashes test. I mean, the hype and the build up towards it. I thought we were going to get a good game, 3, go to the 4th day at least, and it turned out into a damn squid. And England, they have themselves to blame. I think this is one of the most embarrassing, results in Australia. I know there've been quite a few over the years, but this one has to top it, guys. I mean, inside 2 days, and to think about it, you were in command 3 hours before Travis Head took the game away from you, and belted your bowlers all over Perth. You were in control of the game 3 hours, and 3 hours of absolute madness from England actually cost them this game.
No, I agree. Give Australia all the credit. They played better cricket on the day. Personally, I think I enjoyed watching that pitch. I know there's been a lot of criticism of it, but I enjoyed watching that pitch. Even if matches end in the first 2 to 3 days, as long as both teams are giving their all, I'm happy with it.
Look, I'll agree with you. You couldn't take your eyes off this game. It was brilliant. It was nail biting stuff. I mean, day 1, day 2. I mean, the amount of wickets that fell, but I think England. I don't know what to say. I mean, if you give any other team in the world, guys, that position, they probably bet Australia to the ground, guys, and win this.
Yeah.
Because Australia was staring down the barrel. And I'll be honest with you guys, Australia are looking good, 8-wicket win. But I'll be honest with you guys, there's a lot of cracks in this Australian batting lineup that England could have exposed by scoring a lot more runs and giving them a bigger chase. Because I think if it was a bigger chase, let's just say this chase was 350, 400. I don't see Travis Head coming out, and I see this Australian batting lineup being under a lot of pressure. So this Australian team is very, very easy. I mean, we saw it last year in the BGT. India, if they took their chances in some of the games, they could have won that series.
Yeah.
And there was some some brain fades, especially by Rishabh Pant in Melbourne. When that was a certain draw. So they had a chance to really beat Australia in that series as well. But India obviously didn't take the chances. If I look at this Australian side, Yuvraajh, so they look very beatable. They don't look a good side on paper. There's a lot of problems in the batting. They don't have a settled batting lineup. And I mean, England, as I said, this is one of the most embarrassing defeats I would think in the history. The way they shot themselves in the foot from being favourites at lunch today to absolutely getting obliterated by 8 wickets. I mean, can you ever get a comparison like that in cricket in a day, guys? Can you?
So, for me, I think the brain freeze was England's batsman second innings. That was the brain freeze. It was terrible. I think the bowling attack, I fully agree with Avish on this. A higher total, that bowling attack would have wiped Australia through the ground. But they didn't have enough runs. That was a problem. But the good thing is, it's the first match of a very long series. England have a wake-up call.
Okay. Avish, I got a new name for... sorry.
Yeah, I think Michael Vaughan was actually, discussing this online. That this England team haven't had much practice going to the first test. Guys, you look at those Aussie players; they played so many Shield games to get themselves, geared up for this first test. And what was England's preparation? A day of golf. I mean, seriously, guys, how do you plan for a series, an Ashes series in Australia that you haven't won in 15
They
years?
were practicing sixes.
Is that the kind of preparation, guys? But honestly speaking, Yuvi, I know you said it's a long series, but it's a very, very long way back for England at the moment, guys. Because I mean, this was a game that they should have won, they could have won. Because I mean, you look at Cummins and Hazelwood. Cummins and Hazelwood would be absolutely unplayable on this pitch, guys. If you look at the kind of movement a guy like Boland was getting. And Boland, he got back in that second. He got his legs back. I mean, he was very expensive in that first inning, but boy, he came back and he came and terrorized England again. So I think it's a long way back, guys. I will be interested to see how England approach it because they have a long time to think about it now. The next test is on the 1st of December, and it's a pink ball test in Brisbane against Brisbane.
I think the 4th of December.
Good luck trying to win that one, guys. Good luck trying to win that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the 4th of December.
I think a lot rests on the shoulders of Joe Root right now because he's the only real solid traditional test match player. And a lot rests on his shoulders right now. If he's
I'll just add something else there. I think this England set up ever since McCallum taken over, they've been quite stubborn, guys. They haven't tried to have a plan B. They've gone with this expensive approach of trying to play, back themselves out of trouble. I mean, they want to entertain instead of winning. I know. I mean, it's one thing entertaining, but if you don't win, guys, nobody's going to remember you. And
100%.
We were speaking yesterday off air, and I took a hit at McCallum, the coach, because guys, let's be honest, what does this guy achieve as a coach? That England, one of the biggest test nations in the world, got this guy in, and the 3 years that he's been in here now, almost 4 years, what big series has he won, guys? Let's be honest, what big series has he won? He's lost in India. He's beaten Pakistan away from home on absolute roads. Let's be honest. He's been in New Zealand away from home. He's won with Australia at home. He's won with India at home. What big series has he won, guys?
Yeah.
He's not a coach with much credentials.
No. I agree with that. He should not be their test match coach. I mean, his test match record is average at best as a batsman.
I agree.
His test match is average at best. He should not be coaching the test team.
I wish I've got a new name for bad ball. Retard ball, because that's how they played.
I was going to throw in Brady's ball, but retard is not bad at all. But let's just stick with Brady's ball at the moment, because I think that's what England are playing at the moment.
Sure.
Guys, let's be honest, man. England can beat this Aussie side just normal test cricket. They don't have to play this kind of way.
Yeah.
This Aussie team is beatable just playing the normal way. And I don't know if England have got it in them that under Stokes and McCullum, they've been so stubborn. They kept on playing. They can change, because if they do change, this could be an interesting series, guys.
Okay. But we have a question for you, right? I have a worry that India is kind of playing like England when it comes to certain conditions. Like in the first test, India played with a bit of common sense. They should have chased that 124 down. I mean, like some of the shots were a bit reckless. Yeah. So I thought the way they played was a bit like England.
Well, to me, the biggest disappointment for the whole series right now, apart from Gill getting injured, obviously, Dhruv Jurel.
Okay.
He's been amazing. Dhruv Jurel has been amazing. But that first and second innings, that was not the Dhruv Jurel I know. I don't know whether the pressure got to him or what it was, but that is not the Dhruv Jurel I know. This guy plays spin like nobody I've ever seen. And he went to pieces.
Okay. So, do you think Australia is going to win the second test, since it is going to be a day-nighter at Brisbane, or do you think England's going to do what West Indies did to Australia?
Look, I think if they change their mindset and start using their brains again, it could be interesting. But look, Australia has a record in pink ball guys. They've only lost one pink ball test, and that was the Shema Joseph heroics ever. In 2024. So, also the Aussies going as strong.
Can I?
And that is why I say it's a long way back for England now, guys, because this was the test that they could have won.
Yeah.
Can I?
If they won this test, you're just playing normal cricket. That could have been a hit out for them. It could have been a three hits for them in Brisbane. So I think Australia are going as favourites, guys. Big time.
Is Josh Tongue in this test side?
He is.
Yeah.
So my prediction, if that second test has a bowling attack that includes Archer, Wood, and Tongue, England draw it. They take that second.
Okay, they take that second test match.
That's my opinion.
I would also be tempted, UV. I'll be honest with you, I wasn't impressed with Atkinson. I thought he bowled okay in that first.
I agree.
He was, but I think he doesn't have the place for this these Australian pitches. I think he's an English type of bowler, that can move the ball away in English conditions. But I think Josh, he's the guy that needs to be on this pitch. He's got rapid.
He can match
to burn. So if you give me Archer, Wood, and let's be honest, guys, there's still Ben Stokes. There's still Ben Stokes in the side. So he's the fourth seamer. So you can drop Atkinson and you can play Josh Tongue. I do hope they look at that. I'll be honest, man. I think the top seven guys do that. And if you look at both batting lineups, England batting lineup is a lot more settled. But they just didn't play with their brains in this game. And that's why they're in the situation, guys. They just didn't use their brains.
Agreed. No, I agree. Yeah, but I think the pace itself, if England go in with 150 plus bowlers, they could blow Australia away.
They got to bat better, though, because what's the point of being bowling great?
No, they've got to improve the bat.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Look, they're trying to replicate what Strauss and Cook did in 2011, guys. But I'll be honest with you, that England side was stacked, and that is how you play Australia and Australia. 2011. I mean, Alistair Cook, 765 runs. Jonathan Todd had a great series. Strauss had a great series. KP. That was the series that KP really took the Aussies. Down big time. So, I mean, if you go and watch highlights of that series, guys, what England did so well in that series and what this current England side has failed to do, has failed to, uh, has failed to do so far. And I don't know if they have in England. They wore that Australian attack down.
Yeah.
They put on big first in totals.
Yeah.
Those were massive totals, and that's always going to put Australia under pressure. And those are the kind of totals that England need to stack up. Maybe you don't need 500. Maybe you need 400, 450 against this Aussie side, and they could be under pressure. But you just gotta go back to just playing normal, calculated test cricket, guys. Honestly, you got the bowling attack. The batters really, really let you down. The collapse yesterday after lunch was unacceptable, guys. And they need to go back to old-fashioned test cricket. That is my worry. I don't know if this coach has it in him. He seems to be so stubborn, along with his captain, Stokes. I mean, I admire Stokes as a cricketer. I won't lie to you guys. He's a brilliant touch player. He's done it on the big moments, but I think him and McCullum as a unit, I think they've been very, very stubborn, and they've pushed this approach, expansive batting approach, and it's really backfired a bit badly.
So here's my thinking on this, and I agree with Avish on this. The only guy in that top 5 that can consistently get scores of over 150 to 200 is Joe Root. Nobody else. This is where England struggle.
There's another thing I want to mention. I think Harry Brook. I mean, there's a lot being said about Harry Brook. This amazing test average. So many hundreds in test cricket at the moment. But let's be honest, guys. This guy seems to be a minnow basher. He scores many runs on flat breaks. He's kind of like a flat track bully. When the pitch has a little bit in it, he seems to be a different kind of player. So I don't know if Harry Brook has been overrated. I personally think he's a bit overrated, guys. I think he has to prove a lot in the series. And he has to prove it here in South Africa as well, whether he can play on tough pitches. So I think the jury is still out about Harry Brook. I don't think he's the player that we thought he was. He's a bit overrated for me, guys. And he has a rush of madness sometimes where he can throw his wicket away. So it's going to be interesting. But as I said, Aussies are heavy favorites going to the King contest.
But Avish, are you still going with England 3-1, or have you changed your prediction?
Look, let's see what happens, eh? I mean, I was really hopeful. I thought England really had it in them to do well. But from what I saw yesterday, guys, I mean, I don't really. I'm running out of solutions to this team. I don't know if this team can change. If they do change, they can still win the series. 2-1.
Okay.
I don't know if they do draws. To be honest, I don't know if they do draws. There's nothing wrong with drawing a game sometimes, but I don't know if this England side has it in them to do draws.
Well, according
if they believe in draws, guys, they could have easily won that series against India, maybe 3-0. But it ended up being 2-1. 2-all. They shot themselves in the foot at the Oval as well. I mean, that was a winning game for them, and they found a way to lose. So England are finding ways to lose games that they should be winning, guys. So let's see what happens. As I said, I think Australia are favorites for that ping ball test. So I'll probably have to change my prediction now, guys. But if England change their approach, it could be interesting. So let's see what happens.
Yuvi? Oh, where's Yuvi?
Yuvi.
Let's do Yuvi. And I think he left the building, as they said.
Yeah, we didn't get his prediction for last week, so.
That's okay. My prediction is still looking good, though. I'll also stick to 3-1 to Australia, because I think England will have a win, maybe at Sydney. But hopefully Sydney is not like where they played against India, because that was a treacherous pitch. But anyway, there's enough left there to bet on that one. So what are your quick thoughts on New Zealand's 3-0 win against West Indies? You did predict New Zealand to win 3-0, so well done on that, Avish.
I nailed it, eh? Didn't I? I did nail this one. And to be honest with you, this was the most easiest one to nail. to be honest with you, sir. Can you hear me? I'm just waiting for Sid and Yogi to come back online. Yeah, I think the New Zealand series, as I was saying, is probably the most easiest one to predict.
Yeah, well
Hey,
done, Avish.
Yogi.
Yeah, man, Yuvi,
Yeah,
you're.
I'm
Uh-huh.
not sure what happened. The other device started overheating. Yeah.
Okay. No, we were just talking about New Zealand's 3-0 win against West Indies. So, what were your thoughts on that? I mean, Yuvi, what were your thoughts on that?
Very disappointed.
Hmm.
I really wanted the West Indies to give them a hiding, but yeah, it happens.
Yeah, that's true, eh? But Yuvi, I never got your prediction for the Ashes. Like, what was your prediction?
Didn't I say Australia 3-2 or something?
Oh, yeah, my bad. Okay, my apologies on that. So, okay, we'll get to the next segment on. Oh, sorry.
Unfortunately, it seems prediction may come true.
Oh, yeah, that is true. Hopefully.
Unfortunately.
Okay, but then, Yuvi, what were your thoughts on Pakistan beating Sri Lanka 3-0?
That's sad. It was very sad.
Is that it?
Pakistan should not be beating anybody. Sri Lanka is a decent side. I think they suffer from the same problem India do, poor selection. And I don't think their best 11 is on the park of late. And that is one of the problems Sri Lanka have. And therefore, they tend to struggle. Their batting is a problem right now. Since Mahela left, they've see, honestly. And it's not that they don't have talent, they do. They just don't have a plan. That's the problem. There's plenty of talent there. They just don't seem to have a plan. And once again, like Avish said earlier, if you get runs on the board, your bowlers can do something. If you don't get runs on the board, what are your bowlers going to do?
Avi?
yeah. I got to give it to Pakistan. I think they're building a good white ball unit now at the moment, Sid. If you look at the results so far, I mean, 2-1 against SA. I mean, although there was a weakened side,
Yeah.
and then they won the T20 series as well. They were pretty impressive. And um, if you look at the ODI, I mean, they swept the floor with Sri Lanka. Let's be honest, guys. I mean, uh, Sri Lanka were not really in it. Probably the first game got a little bit closer than expected, but I think Pakistan were pretty dominant against. I think they kind of in the same boat as the West Indies, Sri Lanka guys. It's sad, but it's true. Their batting is just inconsistent. Inconsistent. They just can't seem to be racking up those big totals to actually, trouble the better side. So, um, yeah, it was a disappointing series for Sri Lanka. I don't know where they go from here. Yeah, I mean, you made a good point. I mean, I don't know what's the plan with them going forward because I think it's very important to finish in the top eight because I mean, the World Cup and its rankings as well. So you got to get that automatic qualification. So these teams, I don't know how West Sri Lanka are on the map at the moment, but West Indies are in a bit of trouble as well. I think they're right at the bottom of the ranking. So they've got to start getting some bilateral wins very quickly. But I mean, I knew it. That game that they threw away, the first game in Christchurch, the Windies. Well, once they lost that one, once they bottled that one, I knew there was no way back because New Zealand are aside. Once they're on roll, they just keep on going. And Pakistan are like that as well, guys. Once they're on a roll, it's hard to stop them. So that's what we saw. And looking at the tri series as well,
Yeah.
it's been pretty one-sided as well so far.
Yeah.
Who's
Yuvi,
that
what's
series?
your sorry? It's a tri
Who's that?
series. Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and Zimbabwe for the T20 series. Have you been following that, Yuvi?
Mm-mm.
I've been watching that on catch
Not,
up though.
I, I guess
The
it kind of
catch-up game.
makes sense.
Said,
Yeah.
Pakistan with those two teams. I think Zimbabwe, I mean, Sri Lanka, you'd expect to put more of a fight, but yeah.
But Avi, it was very heartening to see Zimbabwe do so well in that first T20. I really thought they were going to pull up an upset there. But what was nice is how they walloped Sri Lanka though by 80 runs, I think, in that one match, 162 for 8 versus 95 all out. That was really nice to see.
Absolutely. I mean, what a win that was for Zimbabwe, guys. I mean, look, I think Zimbabwe have been the most surprising team in this prize series so far. And looking by the scheme of things, and Sri Lanka's confidence, guys, are so low at the moment. I wouldn't be surprised if Zimbabwe and Pakistan meet in the final.
Yeah.
Because as you said, Zimbabwe, they could have won that first game. They had Pakistan on the ropes. I think there's some poor fielding at the end of it, some drop catches and stuff, that really cost them. And they completely outplayed Sri Lanka in that second game. I think kicking them out for 95. That was a brilliant effort from Zimbabwe. What was that, an 85 run win, if I'm not mistaken?
67 run win. Sorry, it was 67 run win.
Okay, so that's massive. That's massive in T20 in T20 terms, guys. So yeah, Zimbabwe are playing some good cricket at the moment. Some good T20 cricket. It's very good to see. Sri Lanka are just low on confidence, and Pakistan are flying high. So I'll be tempted to say Pakistan Zimbabwe for the final. What do you think?
Yeah, it's possible. Yubi?
Yeah, Sri Lanka, like Avi said, they seem low right now. Look, they're always a team that's capable of turning things around, but yeah, it's possible, definitely.
Okay, I will go with Pakistan to win the tri-series against whichever team played them in the final. How do you feel about that?
No, I'm going to say Zimbabwe.
Go Zimbabwe. I'd love it. I'd love to see Zimbabwe win a trophy. But Pakistan are heavy favorites. I think they have the best bowling attack. They've got good pace, and they've got variety in their spin. I think they're building a decent T20 team, guys. I'll be honest with you.
I think Pakistan is actually on the up, actually, which is actually good for world cricket because a bad Pakistan team, you cannot have so many bad teams. Pakistan, West Indies, Sri Lanka. If you want to include Bangladesh in there as well, it's not good for world cricket. Hey? It's too many bad teams.
And that's the problem with cricket at the moment. There's too many bad teams in the world.
India.
I mean, if you talk about the top 5, with Pakistan there could be a top 6. I would say Pakistan can match the teams in the top 5 probably, but it's the rest of the teams at the moment are really on a very low level. Sri Lanka, with the West Indies, Bangladesh, they have their moments, but more often than not, they can't beat the big teams. That's the problem.
Sorry about that.
That's good.
Yeah. All right, let's end off on the last topic here with Bangladesh's predictable second test win against Ireland. What's your thoughts on that quickly, Yubi? It's pretty one-sided, actually. Unexpected.
We had to drink a lot of Guinness to get over that one.
Yeah, I just want to look at the scoreline quickly because I know the scores. Yeah, no, I was looking at it quickly. About 217 Waller bringing runs. But 217 runs, that's quite a lot there.
I have to say, I think on a better wicket, a wicket that had a bit more seam and stuff, Ireland could probably have held their own. But well done, Bangladesh. Who was it again? Yeah, well done, them.
Avi?
Look, I think a team like Ireland just need to play more Test cricket, guys.
I agree.
Too less Test cricket, so you can't expect them to compete in Asia against teams that are so good at home. So it was a predictable result for Bangladesh. No doubt.
All right, they can actually be playing a T20 series at the best of 3, actually. I'm correct. So I'm going to go with Bangladesh to win the T20 series 3-0. You, Avi?
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yui?
2-1 Ireland.
Controversial.
Yubi likes to add a bit of masala.
I gotta go down. Can I raise something?
Sure, please.
Sure.
India A versus SAA. How was that?
Okay.
Wow. What a chase from SAA in that test match, guys. I mean, that was something extraordinary.
And this, for me, highlights problems in Indian cricket right now. Even your A team can't come together.
Yeah, man, it's boggles, man. Oh, sorry, I spoke a bit of Hindi there. Oh, yeah. Well, we can only hope that that India improves for the better. Because imagine if you have India not performing well in Test cricket, which I do have a fear about, especially at home. I have a fear that the Indian public will get so fed up of India eventually, then who's going to take over the financial clout for India? Because India provides 80% of the players. Who's going to take over that gap, Yuvi?
I have no clue. Honestly, no clue. India needs to improve, honestly, especially the bowling. The batting, yes, they failed in this last match, yes, but honestly, the weakness in India is the seam bowling. That's the weakness. And that's got to improve. And it sounds strange considering you've got the number one seam bowler in the world, but the rest of the attack is like non-existent.
Okay, all right. Sorry.
I want to add something there to what Lily said. Look, I think the Indian Test team is going through a transition at the moment, guys. Let's be honest. I mean, losing Ashwin, losing Kohli. I mean, Virat Kohli, he's kind of like what Sachin was. I mean, you would see the Indian crowds flock to the ground. And if I look at the Test match, there have been a lot of empty seats, guys. So I think that the taste for Test cricket at the moment in India is pretty low at the moment, guys. With the way things are going with the team currently, the results. Did we lose Sudhir by any chance there, Yubi?
Sure.
You did, Sid?
Sid, hello.
I think you're right.
Okay,
yeah.
So what I'm saying is, if you look at Indian cricket at the moment, they very strong in white ball cricket, right?
I'm here.
But for some reason, they tend to play better away from home. I mean, look at it.
They do.
One Test match win in Australia. They had two Test matches in England. I mean, nobody gave them a chance to draw that series in England. Let's be honest. Nobody gave India much of a chance to draw that series. So it seems like this team has been playing better cricket away from home than they are at home, which is really, really strange. But I think they are in a bit of a transition now, guys. And I don't know if Gautam Gambhir can survive this if he loses his Test series. I think they kind of need a change because I think Gautam Gambhir, look, I think he's a good coach, but I think he's strength in white ball.
Possible.
Yeah.
But who do you bring in? Who do you bring in?
Look, I think you've got to get a Test specialist. You've got to get a player that has done well for India and Test cricket.
Bring back Rahul Dravid.
And possibly, I think Rahul would add that stability. And look, Rahul Dravid wasn't a bad Test coach for India, guys. Let's be honest. Yubi.
Yeah.
Or do you bring the headmaster back, Mr. Ravi Shastri? He was brilliant for Indian cricket, but don't.
No. Going forward, not backward.
No, but I think you got to move forward now. You got to get a different player, a different coach. Because I think the Test team is missing something.
Oh yeah.
What do you think? So who do you think is a candidate for the Indian Test team? As coach? Because I don't see Gautam Gambhir lasting too long in this job.
I would have said VVS Lakshman, but I don't think he's too keen. So maybe I'll go with Yuvis Pujara and see how that goes.
I think he's the best candidate.
If you look at modern day Mavericks, I think you look at Pujara. Pujara is right up there. You know, in terms of modern day Test greats for India, he's right up there. But Lakshman, one of my favorite players growing up, guys. VVS. An excellent Test batter. I mean, I remember his high back left and, playing the ball at the back foot. He was so beautiful to watch. He wouldn't be a bad option as well.
Mhm.
And
No,
all right,
definitely.
before we wrap off, oh, sorry.
Can I
I
say
was just
one
gonna say
more
before
thing?
we wrap off, sorry.
Can I just say one more thing?
Sure.
I know, I know
Yeah,
it's
go
a
for it.
transition. I know we've gone away
Mhm,
from Kohli and Rohit and whatever,
mhm,
but you gotta give credit to Shubman. What he did in England, he's filling that gap. He is filling
mhm.
that gap, and they've missed him in this series against South Africa.
Okay. Let me just confirm the quick predictions. I'm predicting India to still win this second test because they need to do all the running, and then I'm predicting Australia to win the second test, and then yeah, that's pretty much it for now. UV, do you concur with that?
Yeah, India wins the second test, draw the series. Australia, I'm thinking England draw the series, winning the second test. Yeah.
Okay. Avi?
I'm going for a draw, India and
Mm-hmm.
SA.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm going for England at at uh, at the Gabba. Although Australia are favourites, I think England have to come back. They have to respond.
Okay. All right. That's pretty much a wrap, guys. See you all next week.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers,
Awesome.
guys. Take care, man.
Ciao.
Awesome chat.